Hello. I just wanted to take a break from my usual storytelling to mention a few people who really inspired me growing up, particularly the men. Women will be getting their own video, no doubt. But just to start off with, let's start with Ray Canterbury. Ray was always trying to impart wisdom on me on how to be a man, but the greatest lesson he ever taught me was that anyone can just take and take until there's nothing. But it takes a real man to put others first and sacrifice everything for the greater good. Now, I imagine that came from, his time in law enforcement, but still, it was interesting to me because I was a very selfish person, especially in high school when he first said those words to me. Eric King taught me that it's not always the advice that you give. Sometimes the greatest thing that you can do is just listen. And he never actually said those words to me, but he led by example because in a world where I felt like no one listened to me and nobody cared enough to get to know the real me, not just the me that I presented as, the facade, the quirky, hey, funny Stephen Baggett. He wanted to know how I was, earnestly. And that made all the difference in the world. Gabe Germain was an odd inspiration, to be certain, in the fact that he was not what you would consider a good role model. He was constantly breaking the rules, questioning authority, sticking it to the man. But in his own way, he was the best example to me because he was in his 20s. So he knew better than anybody else what we were all going through. And so he used that to connect with us on a level that the adults really couldn't. Gabe treated us like equals in a world where all of us were just being looked down upon or glossed over because we were kids. And I took that with me when I started mentoring the youth group at my church. I remembered that to the point where, when Tim was first starting to sell me on a leadership role, I didn't say yes until he said, you could be the next Gabe Germain. Part two will be up soon.